What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the Optic Chicago versus New York Subliners matchup for the Game 3 of the CDL First Major. Now, this major is taking place Thursday, March 4th. This is one of the 4 games that we're going to have today on the Thursday slate, and I just want to go over it. I want to break down the prices, tell you who I think is going to win. And, I think that these two teams are very good. Obviously, Chicago Optic is more of an established team that has been relevant for a long time. And it's just, people know Optic is a very good team. However, the New York Subliners, if you haven't seen their recent games, they've actually been blowing up. They've been exploding. They literally have hit another level from their first week in the Call of Duty League, and sometimes that has been shown reflected in the New York Subliners prices for Draftkings. Now, I want to go over like the prices for each players and give you an insight of who I think is the best value based on what they've shown so far in the Call of Duty League, in fantasy points wise. Who has the best price to upside ratio, and the lines for this game stand at minus 200 for Optic Chicago to win. So Optic Chicago is obviously favored to win. Optic Chicago, I believe, is going to win. I put Optic Chicago in the same realm as the Dallas Empire and the Atlanta FaZe. So I'm not sure if New York Subliners can convincingly beat a team of that caliber, even though they almost did last game. The last game that the New York Subliners played, they almost 3-0 to the Dallas Empire, but they got reverse swept. That was insane. So it lets me know that they're a good team. They have the capability of beating a team like Optic or like Dallas, but maybe their mental discipline isn't there yet, or just like their if they would have made it to game 3, they would have 3-0 Dallas. That would have been international news, you know. But they just, for whatever reason, they couldn't close out, and they lost every single game after that. Every single game after they were up 2-0. So prices. I believe that Clayster at 13,800 for the captain spot is he's relatively expensive, but he's been going off a lot. His only game under 100 points was against Seattle, their last game against Seattle, which they did win, and I believe that Clayster is a very good value, but at 9,200 at the flex position, yes, he's great, but I feel like at the flex position he is kind of risky right now. I'm not sure if he can continue this upwards trend. He has hit upwards of 138 fantasy points, and that was against Dallas of all teams. So I don't know if that's like super rare. That just shows you his determination. Just against his old team, he wanted to go off, so he posted hella points. But who knows if he can consistently keep doing that, especially against the Optic Chicago, who are a very good hardpoint team. Very good hardpoint team. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do any of that. Diamond Con at 7,800 for the flex and 11,700. I would not use Diamond Con in the flex position. I believe there's more players at that price tag that have better upside. Better upside. I think he's playable at the flex position at 7,800. I believe that Diamond Con has been showing he's been showing what he's capable of doing, and he's a very good rookie. Um, he posted 122 fantasy points per game last game at 8,200 price tag. So he's only $400 cheaper now, going up against a good team, and he's shown upside. So he's a decent play at that price tag. He's decent if you want to hedge a bet against Optic Chicago. Diamond Con would be essential to this team winning a series against the Optic. So granted, if they do win, Diamond Con and players like Mac are going to have to step up. That's the only way they can win, if all of their players are really, Mac at 7,200. I don't know if I would take him. He's posted upwards of 100 points 3 times this season so far. So I guess at 7,200, he actually is a decent price. Um, Two of those games were against Dallas and Minnesota. And the last game against Seattle, he posted up 97 points, so close enough. I would never put him in the cap position because I just feel like at that price, there's many other players that have better upside than him. Maga's a good player. You know, he's shown that from apart from the first game where he threw a dud at 56 points, he's actually started to do good. So Mag might be a good player at 7,200. Now, for the most part, I'm going to be fading them just because of the matchup, because they're going against Optic Chicago, and they're a very good hardpoint team. Very good hardpoint team. And I just don't know if they can steal a hardpoint from Optic Chicago. So I'm just going to be fading them. I do believe in the New York Subliners as a really good team. I'm just not sure they can compete with the top 3 teams right now. They've shown they can kind of compete with Dallas Empire, and I don't know if they can do that with Optic Chicago. We'll have to see. But on the Chicago side, I really like Dashi. Dashi seems to never like slow down. He's a really good player at 15,000. Um, he 50,000 for the cap position. I think he delivers a good amount of value because he's never posted a game under 100 fantasy points before. He might one game. Obviously, he probably will one game, but who knows? If he hits under 100 fantasy points, it's probably not going to be by a lot. So he might still pay off at the captain position, depending on how the lineups look or your lineup looks. But at $10,000 flex position, he's also a great price. I think he's $300 cheaper than Cammy, and he's in a matchup where he is favored to win as well. So Dashi, great play in my opinion, as well as Formal. Formal at 6,800 is always a good play for me because I know what Formal is capable of doing. I would sometimes use Formal at the captain position at 10,200 because he has some upside. Last match, he went off for 119 fantasy points. He had 87 kills and 73 deaths. So if you would have had him at that price on the captain position, you would have definitely made some money because your lineup would have been stacked. The key to DFS is having players that are cheap go off. Those are the secrets. When your cheapest players go off, it makes the load less heavier on your more expensive players. Your lineups don't rely so much on your more expensive players. So when a guy like Formal goes off at that low of a price, he really pays off his value. So it's better for your lineup in the long run. Envoy, as well, 9,000. I really like him at 9,000. I don't know about the flex position. I wouldn't use him. I mean, the captain position. I wouldn't use him in the captain position. Just because I feel like at that price tag, there's other players that have a little bit more upside. I just feel like Envoy sometimes he doesn't play like for kills. Obviously, he's not a selfish player. He's a very clinical player. He's very good. Envoy, I think, you could get away with using him in the flex position at 13,500. He did post 140 points last game. 140 fantasy points last game against Florida. So that was insane. That was at 9,000, and his price hasn't moved. So, in my opinion, an Envoy, Formal, and Dashi trio would honestly be nice, considering the fact that Optic does have the capability of sweeping the New York Subliners. As good as they might seem right now, Optic Chicago are a very, very, very good team. And I feel like people are they're hyping up New York a little bit too much. I feel like, yeah, New York has shown that they can hang, but they still haven't beat a top 3 team. So, I really feel like Optic needs the respect that they deserve. The lines, they kind of show it minus 200. It's not too far down. New York is getting some respect too. I think that a Optic Chicago stack would be ideal for this matchup. You could use the Optic Chicago team flex position at 3,400. I wouldn't touch the New York one because I doubt they win But you never know. Some nothing but you never know. Many things can happen in the CDL as we've seen so far, but I honestly really doubt, the possibilities of this Subliners beating Optic Chicago is, I don't want to say slim to none, but they aren't big chances, right? So, with that being said, this is the New York Subliners and Optic Chicago matchup. This is what I think about the prices and the discrepancies, prices between the players, and hopefully this is gonna be a good game. I'm going to watch all these games today. This one's gonna be very good. So if you like the content, if you like Call of Duty, if you like esports, if you like FPS esports as well, I will be supporting more esports in the future, like Halo and Valorant. Um, I give out daily fantasy advice, you could say, give out analysis on the prices and stuff, what I think, are good values. So, I'll be creating a lot of content for the Call of Duty League in this channel for many, many, many years to come, as long as it's relevant. So if you like the idea, you like the content, you dislike it or like it, give a like or thumbs down, subscribe if you want. You know where to find me if you like this type of content on YouTube. So with that being said, thank you for watching.